You're watching the Morning Score, your top of day fix for Indy 500 coverage.
Whoop, whoop.
How about that? The 99th running of the Indy 500 is a week and a half away, right? The 24th or the 31st?
It is a week and a half away.
Week and a half
Memorial
away.
Day weekend, that's Sunday.
Yeah, and honestly, this is one of the biggest sporting events in America. Well,
In the world. I mean, it's huge.
And
pretty big.
It's a shame that more people are not, well, it's a shame that it's not more mainstream, I should say.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to watch.
And to me, it's kind of hard to watch too. However, I became really attracted to it this year, and I was reading about glamping and about how this is I think the second year that glamping. You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what's
exactly.
glamping?
Glamping is glamorous camping.
Glamorous?
I haven't figured out how she's made it fit
my
in this
God,
segment
yes,
yet.
glamping.
But no,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Well, they're talking. They talked about how this is, I think, the second year that glamping has been an option. So you pay to glamp, and for someone like me who has no idea which end is up when it comes to anything race car related, I would go glamping at IndyCar to get my feet wet. But that's all I got for you, Trevor. It's all on you.
Well, I will tell you this. Glamping at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is ridiculous.
Have you done it?
I haven't done it because I've always worked for IndyCar, but I went over and I checked out. They have like these sick air-conditioned tents. You have
Yeah.
private bathrooms.
Ooh.
They cook you food, and you're right there. I mean, the coolest thing about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, if you can actually glamp inside of it, I mean, it's so cool because you wake up in the morning and there's the track. It's right there, and you're right by a golf course. You can go golfing. You can go to the museum and see the history. One of the things that makes the Indianapolis Indy 500 so big is just that aspect, is the pre-gaming and the partying and having a good time. Like, they have the snake pit. Are you guys familiar with the snake pit
I
at all?
love the snake pit.
The snake pit is just ridiculous. And they bring in good bands, good DJs. People are
awesome.
getting
It's super
hammered.
fun.
We've got Florida Georgia Line is
I do
playing
love
there
Florida Georgia Line.
This week, this year.
Two-step in.
What's that song?
I mean-
that song that they have a lot of
You
songs.
love them, don't you?
Cruise.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
I love Cruise. Yes.
Yes.
Well, for all of
I'm
you guys
serious, I
who
really
aren't
do.
into the Indy 500.
Well, I think that is what makes a lot of sports fun. The glamping for Indy, it's almost like, I mean, it is like the tailgating for football.
Of course.
And
Oh,
having
yeah.
everyone making it, you know, because the cars going around and round and round and round isn't that exciting, but it's the experience of being there.
Yeah.
Everyone's there. It's such a good atmosphere. People want to hang out. Who are you here for? I just feel like the actual lifestyle of the sport is really interesting and fun.
Well, and what's fun about IndyCar as opposed to some of those other driving leagues is you have the access you receive at IndyCar. Like, if you just up a little bit, I think it's like $25 and you can take a garage tour. So you're
Oh,
like
that's
in there
cool.
and the drivers are cruising around, and that's what makes IndyCar a great sport for fans, but also the Indy 500, because when you're there, you're cruising around and legends are still there. Like, these guys who have won 4 Indianapolis 500s, which is a huge deal. You could just see them cruising around, and you can stop and you can get an autograph, or you can go in, to the garage area, and there's Ryan Hunter-Reay, who won last year, and chat with him, or Elio Castroneves, he's right there. And the access is incredible.
Yeah.
And you can get on pit lane, which that's when car racing is really at its best. It's like when you go into those pits and you see these cars just like come in, and the cruisers out, it's like everything's going crazy, and they're out. It's insane.
It is insane. I have to say, I know it's different, but I got to experience that a little bit when I went to a NASCAR race this season. And to be in the pit and to see how precise, like, it was almost that was the most exciting part of the race for me. Is just seeing the car, like seeing everyone. They have a specific task. They know what to do. If one guy screws up, the whole thing's a disaster.
It's really,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
really
it's
an
just
art.
such a team. As much as you think it's just one guy driving a car around and around
It's a
and
team
around,
sport.
it's a team
It's definitely a team
sport in a
sport.
way, and it's kind of fascinating.
Now, I want to ask you about who do you think, who is your pick to win? Can Elio how do I pronounce it?
Elio Castroneves.
Elio Castroneves, do you think he can get a 4th win?
Yes, well, he absolutely can.
Or will he win this year? What are his chances? What are his odds? What do you think? And who is his biggest competition?
All right, great question. So he's probably the favorite, because last year he lost, and this is what makes IndyCar so damn exciting. He lost to Ryan Hunter-Reay by 0.0 seconds.
Photo finish.
Think about that.
Photo finish.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
That's
it.
how fast that is. I mean, and those two were just going back and forth with the final like 5-6 laps. It was crazy. And Ryan Hunter-Reay
Had a stronger ankle.
he had a stronger ankle. He was able to hold Elio off and become the first American to win the Indy 500 since 2006, which is a huge deal.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
I would say, so here's the deal with IndyCar. You have the big three. And this
Okay.
is why IndyCar is better than Formula One, in my personal and humble opinion. In Formula One, you have your couple drivers who are always going to win because it all comes down to money and who has more money and better equipment.
Right.
In IndyCar, the equipment is all the same. It's
yeah.
just how the engineers and the teams set it all up and your drivers.
Kind of like how football should be, but it's not because Tom Brady has different equipment.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. And you have the big three. You have Penske, you have Andretti, and you have Ganassi, and those are the big three. And they use all the same stuff, but they have more money and more people. It's like a big law firm.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
more people who can do paperwork, and then da-da-da-da. We're like a smaller law firm. It's like the lawyer and his one assistant going through boxes of paper. So they have more people.
I
But-
like that. This is good.
No, so Penske, what you have this year, which makes it really exciting, is not Elio going for 4, which is huge because only 3 other drivers have done it before. Rick Mears, Al Unser, and AJ Foyt, so he could be a part of history, which is massive. And then you have Chevy and Honda
with their new aero kits.
And so they both, for the first time, they were able to actually design their own aero kits, because before everybody had the same aero kits.
Okay.
So now Honda has their aero kit, and Chevy has their own aero kit, and Chevys have been crushing it this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're dominating like nobody's business, but it's still early. And this is a super speedway; it's 2.5 miles long. So this is the first time these new aero kits are coming into play for Indy 500. So to answer your question, that was such a long roundabout way. Elio definitely does because he drives for Penske, and then he's got
He has an
former.
advantage because he was on Dancing with the Stars.
That's
and he's a
right.
fan
And he
favorite.
won Dancing
And he
with the
won.
Stars.
Yes.
Dancing with the Stars.
And anyone who wins a reality show clearly has a competitive edge in anything that they do in life.
Truth.
That's right.
But here's the thing, he drives for Penske. And then you have former winner Juan Pablo Montoya. He's won an Indy 500. I know, I was like, I need some. And then you have Will Power, who's his other teammate, who won the championship last year. And then you have Simon Pagenaud, who's actually one of my favorite drivers. So their team is just a freaking all-star team. So
Right.
any of those 4 have a good shot, even though Will is not the greatest on ovals.
Yes.
So we'll see about that. But I would.
Could be a problem.
In the end, I think Elio's by far the favorite.
Okay.
Right.
Scott Dixon of Target Chip Ganassi, he's right up there. His teammate Tony Kanaan actually won in a very exciting race a couple years ago.
And they're both former Indy winners.
Indy car winners or
Indy 500 winners. The
Well-
2 guys you've mentioned both have won before,
Yes,
correct?
yeah,
Okay.
they won before, so that's why you also put him up. And Scott Dixon is just
The man.
He's always solid, and he's on one of the top teams. And then you have Ryan Hunter-Reay, who's got a great shot. If there's a guy out of the big 3, I'm going to go with hometown boy Ed Carpenter. Now
Okay, yes.
This is a guy. He runs for Fuzzy's Vodka, and
Vodka's good.
vodka is very good.
Whiskey's better, but
Well, I agree with you there. But he's won the
We all
pole, which is a
agree on
huge deal
something.
the last 2 years, and he's great on ovals. So I would put Ed Carpenter. He would be my sleeper out of the big 3.
so Elio, then Ed.
Whoa, that was long.
Well, I would go like Elio, Scott Dixon, Juan Pablo Montoya would be the 3 favorites in my opinion.
Okay.
And then if you're going outside of the big 3, I would say Ed Carpenter.
Now the biggest question that we have for you, are you gonna be there?
I will not be there, unfortunately, because I was.
Oh, okay, never
Because
mind.
of other reasons. Well, I have another game, so
Yeah,
I
okay.
won't be there this year, but hopefully I'll be there next year because
Their loss.
then it'll be the 100th running, which
Ooh,
that
that'll be
is-
good.
That's
And we
fun.
all should go, and we all are planning on
Yes.
being there. We're gonna buy our glamping tickets a year in advance.
We'll glamp, we'll snake pit.
That's right.
We'll
We're
get dirty.
in.
We'll walk around barefoot.
Drunk sports.
That's right.
.com.
The morning rant coming up next on the morning score.
Drunksports.com.
So